Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and coming up, the latest on Thayer Munford, Jackson Powers-Johnson, Andrus Peat, and Dylan Parham. Antonio Pierce spoke to the media last week before Raiders rookie minicamp, and he said a lot of things about a lot of different players. He talked about all four of these guys up here, but what he also said was like certain little tidbits that I think people might have missed just because there was so much hype around rookie minicamp. So based on some of the things that AP said, I'm going to get into the latest and some of the rumors and some of the big trending talking points around these four players right here because there is a lot, and I mean a lot, to digest on. Also, this is the Raiders Report, but guess what? We cover the NFL on top of that, and the NFL has officially announced that the Week 1 game is going to be between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens. This gets the season kicked off here in 2024. I got a wedding actually on Friday, so I actually will not be the one covering this game, but my man Jeremy Chuggs, he's going to get an opportunity to go live on this show, and if you're going to be watching that show with Jeremy Chuggs, I want you to spam FKC down below because, hey, you got to keep your friends close, but you got to keep your enemies closer, and that's just another reason why you hit that subscribe button. Nobody does what we do here at the Raiders Report. If you're looking for that Oakland field of games, I promise you we're bringing it every day here. All right, so let's get into our Raiders rumors roundup around the players that I just talked about. Thayer Munford, here's going to be the first story, and is he going to be starting for the Silver and Black Week 1? To me, I'm going to give this one 3 just win babies, and that says that there is a 75% chance of this one happening. I know we get a lot of viewers out here. Anytime you see just win baby heads, I'll try to do my best to explain what they mean, but 3 just win babies means 75% chance of this happening, and Pierce spoke to the media before the Raiders rookie minicamp and said that right tackle is Munford's job for the taking. One of the things that I talked about before the 2024 NFL Draft was the most intriguing player that the media is not talking about around the Raiders is Thayer Munford. And I said on this show, if the Raiders are really confident in Munford, there's a chance that they don't take a right tackle as early as what everybody thinks. Wouldn't you know it? Raiders decide to pass. They stick with Munford. But when you listen to Antonio Pierce talk, he sounded like a dude that was super, super confident in Munford's ability. He even threw out the term like, somebody asked him about Munford not playing right tackle, and Pierce is like, y'all said that. I never said that. To me, when you listen to AP talk, it sounds like the Raiders' plan all along, and this organization, from their new offensive line coach, James Craig, from their new GM and Tom Telesco, that they have always been confident in Munford's ability to go out there and play right tackle. And realistically, I think some of the actions that the Raiders did, they back that up. Words are one thing, and I get it. Words are one thing, even with this organization, and I know, I believe AP. I believe what he has to say, but actions always speak louder than words. So my question to you is this. Will Thayer Munford be the Raiders' starting right tackle this upcoming season? Give me a yes. Give me a no. This is what we like to do here because I don't want to walk into any group of people and I'm the only one talking. I also don't like to sit up here and talk by myself. Believe it or not, it's not what I try to do. I want to see what the live chat has to say. I want to see what you guys have to say down in the comments. Will Thayer Munford be the Raiders' starting right tackle in 2024? Let me know down below. My answer is yes, I do think that it's going to happen. Now, the reason why I gave that 3 just win babies is because it's not a 100% lock. We still got to see what he looks like in May, June, and July. So let's go throughout the idea that maybe he potentially plays offensive guard or tackle. But to me, the action of, and it's the loudest action of them all, the Raiders passed on right tackle at pick 13. They also passed on right tackle at pick 44. Yes, they did reach a little bit on Delmar Glaze, who is right now going by DJ Glaze. They did pass on him, but even him, he's somebody that can play right tackle. He's somebody that can play right offensive guard on top of that. Munford did play 263 snaps at right tackle last season. He also played a little over 200 at left tackle on top of that. But what I hear, AP is confident. The Raiders' actions seem like they're confident in Munford. And just everything that happened at rookie minicamp this past week tells me that if the season started today, Thayer Munford would be your starting right tackle. Let's go to the next story coming up here on the show, and it's around JPJ, Jackson Powers-Johnson. I'll tell you what. This rookie fires me up. If he fires you up, let me get a JPJ down below. And I'm going to tell you whether or not I think the rookie is going to be starting week 1. Before I do, though, I got to give a shout-out to today's sponsor, Prize Picks. NBA games are flowing, and Even if there's a blowout game, like we watched the New York Knicks get blown the F out by the Indiana Pacers, but guess what? I was still able to put some money in my pocket because I picked more, I picked less on a few of the players that were getting down in that game. And if you're like me, you want to be able to watch an NBA playoff game, put some players down, you got it covered. Also, WNBA, it's right around the corner in Prize Picks. They also like to hook you guys up with some good deals. And right now, the deal on Caitlin Clark, here's the thing, she's dropping more than half a point. Give me the more on that. Sabrina Ionescu, I took the less, though. Hannes Rasu's wife. Grasu, though, no longer a member of the Raiders, but hey, maybe you can still roll with him in some of the picks. Brianna Stewart, we decided to go less on that one as well, 19.5 points. Bottom line is whether it's NBA, season-long NFL, WNBA now, you can go more, you can go less, and I always like to try to go where I have the best chance of winning, and the fact that Caitlin Clark, 0.5 points, this is where I would say, hey, go put your money where your mouth is. So again, if you want to get started, Prize Picks is simple. All you got to do is pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections. Watch the winnings roll in. Get started now if you haven't already at prizepicks.com/CLNS, and you're going to get a first-time deposit match of $100 when you use code CLNS. So one more time, in case you were picking your you-know-what, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Pick more, pick less. It's that simple. That link's going to be available to you all down in the comments and in the description of today's show. So is Jackson Powers Johnson starting week 1? You bet your ass he is. This one's for just win, babies. Believe it, baby. Out of all the players that I'm going to talk about today, if you were to ask me, Mitch, who do you think you are the most confident in starting week 1 for the Las Vegas Raiders? His name is Jackson Powers Johnson. Now, I'm only saying that in terms of the guys I'm talking about today. Colton Miller, obviously going to start. Andre James, obviously going to start. JPJ, though, is the one that I'm the most confident in starting on that line. And he was working at left guard at rookie minicamp, and left guard was the position that I've always envisioned JPJ playing. Now, some people speculated maybe he would play right guard because he's played right guard way more than what he's played left guard at the college level. But, I can guarantee you he's playing somewhere on that O-line, and I can guarantee you it's going to be either left guard or it's going to be right guard. And they love this guy. This is somebody that we had as a round 1 grade on. I knew Telesco was very, very high on him, so much so that I even made a video that I like JPJ, but I didn't want the Raiders to take him at 13. When you look at the 829 snaps last year, according to PFF, an 84.3 overall grade. No sacks, no hits, 1 hurry, 9 penalties is a little bit high. However, I do give JPJ a little bit of credit in that regard because when you play at Oregon's fast pace and you're the center, a lot of times the penalties are going to fall on you for either false starts or snapping it too early. So honestly, I don't look at the penalties being the same thing because everywhere else, he was just an absolute stud. But when you think about the fact that he's working there at left guard, Telesco called Andre James on draft night to let him know he's starting at center. So, that already tells you that Andre is going to be the starter. They still drafted him with the idea that he's going to start. And then with the 829 snaps last season, they all came at center, which might scare some people out there. And I can understand that when you take somebody that early, you're like, sure, Mitch, but can they translate to the next level at guard? The way Jackson Powers Johnson plays and how powerful he is and how much he loves football does make me very confident that the transition is going to be very easy. I also think at center to offensive guard is an easy transition to make at the NFL level compared to maybe some other positions that it might not be as easy, where we've seen the Raiders try to convert some strong safeties into linebacker. That's a lot more difficult. When you look at his college snap breakdown, it's 66% of the snaps are coming from center. It's like 32, 33% here from right guard, and then, you got 27 snaps. Are you confident putting somebody who's only played 27 snaps at left guard as your starting guard? The Raiders got to make a tough decision. All I know is this. He is starting at offensive guard this season, and if you're Dylan Parham, you're probably hoping that JPJ's at left guard, because if the silver and black decide to put JPJ on right guard, I'm telling you right now, if I'm Dylan Parham, I'm getting a little bit nervous because of what Antonio Pierce has said based on the actions that the Raiders have made. So coming up here, I'm going to tell all y'all why Parham is hoping that JPJ is playing left guard, because if JPJ decides to go on the right side, or if the Raiders say, hey, we're going to put you on the right side, Dylan Parham's job is not safe, and I'm telling you that right now. It is not safe at all. Let's go to the next story coming up here, and because this impacts Dylan Parham. It's around Andrus Peat, and is he going to be starting week 1 for the Raiders? If you were looking for Raiders rumors around the offensive line today, I promise you this, you're in the right place, and I also know that there's a special type of person that's watching the show. Again, not only are you watching May 13th here on the show, but you're also learning about offensive linemen. People that watch this show, you're a real one, man. This one, though, I'm going to give only one just win, baby. I'm going to say that there's about a 25% chance that Andrus Peat does start week 1 for this Las Vegas Raiders football team. And the reason why that I say that is because they signed him right after the 2024 NFL draft. He was the 3rd player signed after the draft, following Michael Gallup, following Jalen Guyton. And the Raiders kind of showed you yet again where their concentration is. They did it in free agency. They did it in the draft. Once they set their mind to something, they're going to try to fill those needs. Pierce also said, and this is like the biggest part of it, that he's going to stay on the left side of the line. I know a lot of other people here amongst the nation, as soon as the news broke that, hey, the Raiders are signing Peat. Also, it's officially official that they did sign Peat today. I should also say that it is officially official that the Raiders have now signed all of their rookies when Delmar Glaze and Jackson Powers-Johnson signed today. But when Peat was signed to this team, I was wondering, like, are they going to try to put him on the right side, and are they going to try to have him compete with Thayer Munford? What did Pierce say right off the jump? We're only going to keep him to the left side. The fact that he said that they're only going to keep him on the left side, again, actions speaking louder than the words of they are a lot more confident in Thayer than maybe what we originally thought. The other part of that is, though, AP said that he's got offensive guard Pro Bowl potential. So the fact that offensive guard Pro Bowl potential is what AP is saying, like, that's where they think that he's going to go. They think he's going to be left guard. Also said that he could be a backup to Colton Miller. So the Raiders are here, again, looking for a little bit of versatility. But if JPJ ends up playing right guard, then I think that you're looking at an Andrus Peat, Dylan Parham battle there for left guard. If JPJ's the guard, no battle. Pete's going to be the backup. But if this is the left guard battle, I think it's going to be one that we got to look at, we got to talk about, man. So if you could pick a starter, this is at left guard and at left guard only. Are you going to go with Andrus Peat type AP, the former first rounder, somebody that played, I want to say got 16 starts or 16 games last season, 12 starts in total? Or are you going to go with Dylan Parham? I want you to type DP. The reason why I am going to go with Dylan Parham over Andrus Peat is because, one, I don't know why. I think Parham kind of gets ripped on a lot more than what he deserves to get ripped on. I will say that I think he's on the hot seat, and why I'm kind of talking about what I'm talking about is because we talk about it all the time with new regimes, and the one player that I feel like has kind of escaped the brand new regime coming in here conversation of could they be traded? Are they on the hot seat? Parham has started 2 years, and he's been a good guard considering what he's had to deal with his first 2 seasons. But this is a brand new regime, and if they want him to be at left guard, I do think he's going to compete with Andrus Peat. So coming up here, I'm going to tell you why Parham will be the starter over Andrus Peat. Before I do, man, I'm super excited, and I'm finally going to be able to give you guys my Madden schedule for 2024. So one of the things that we did last season was for every single Raiders game, I ran a Madden simulation, Jeremy Chuggs and I, and we did a live watch party as if it was the real thing. Now, I know it says Game 1, and we're going to show you all the way up to Game 17, so if you want to just take a screenshot of this, save it. The dates might fluctuate just in case, I don't know, Jeremy gets sick, maybe Chuck needs to go to the vet, I need to take an off day. We will do our best to keep you guys up to date. The more important story is, one, the official NFL Raiders schedule is going to be coming out on May 15th. We're going to break that down for you. We'll also tell you which games are going to be when. But the bottom line is, even though this is the offseason, nobody's pumping out as much content as the Raiders Report is. So please, another reason to subscribe, another reason to turn on those notifications and join us, because we had a lot of fun last year with the Madden Sims, and I'm excited to be able to do it yet again. All right, so coming up here again, why Parham will be the starter over Andrus Peat. And to me, Parham does have experience to play right guard, and because I believe that he is going to be the right guard, I'm going to give this one 3 just win babies, that this is the direction that the Silver and Black are going to go. Parham has started at left guard the past 2 seasons there. He did have to fill in one time at right guard for just a brief moment early on in his career. But JPJ working out at left guard, and like, if I'm going to have a quarterback like Aiden O'Connell, like Gardner Minshew, who would I rather have protecting my blind side, Dylan Parham or JPJ? I would rather have JPJ protecting my blind side. I'd also rather have a guy like Parham to be next to Thayer Munford, who those two guys, I would want Parham, who's got more NFL experience, to go with Munford, who's got less NFL experience compared to them. JPJ, who's got the least amount of experience. I would rather him be sandwiched between Colton Miller and Andre James. Like, that just spells more success for this organization to me. But Parham, with his experience at right guard, put him over there, and he was drafted by McDaniels and Ziegler. But even though that's the case, and I know that people think he's a lock-in to be a starter, I think that Andrus Peat is going to give him a run for the money if it's on the left side. So overall, I do expect him to start this upcoming season, but he could be on the hot seat if he's expected to start at left guard. It's going to be something to monitor. It's going to be something to check out. But you know what? You got to be able to protect the quarterback position, no matter who it is, whether it's Aiden, whether it's Gardner, or if you want some NFL breaking news, Jared Goff just signed a 4-year, $212 million contract extension with $170 million guaranteed. At one point, I am hoping that our offensive line can protect the quarterback making that much money. I just hope it's not a guy like Jared Goff. So quick recap here. Thayer Munford, he's going to be your starting right tackle this season. JPJ, he's going to start at left guard. Andrus Peat's going to be your backup to Colton Miller, who's battled some injuries, and also be that left guard backup, I believe, to JPJ. And then Dylan Parham, he's going to be your starting right guard. The Raiders want versatility on that offensive line, and I really, for those of you that are watching live, the next show that I got coming up here, and for people that don't watch this show live, the next show that you see on the Raiders Report is going to be a full breakdown of what I think this team's going to do from start to finish with that O-line, from players that they keep, practice squad, all that good stuff. Another reason why you subscribe.